Um, Good evening, Commission. My name is Matthew Nelson. I'm with the law firm of Grisham, Savage, Nolan, and Tilden. We represent Walmart on this project. Really don't have too much to add to Mr. Bassi and Mr. Teague's report, other than to note that staff has been very cooperative and very easy to work with. Ms. York, I don't want to leave you out as well. We did just want to highlight a couple of the things Mr. Bassi had mentioned. There were emails received in support. In addition to that, Walmart has been collecting supporter cards to date, and I think this number is probably going to be out of date by the end of the evening. We have 785 residents of Wildomar supporting the project, 10 opposed, which is going to happen. And then at the open house that Mr. Teague mentioned, September 18th, we had 157 residents. So obviously Walmart has done everything to inform the public on what's coming, answer all the questions. We also did a presentation at the Wildomar Chamber of Commerce on January 7th at the new Denny's. That was well attended as well. And I just want to say we have members from our team here to answer any questions you may have regarding engineering, architecture, landscape architecture, traffic, pretty much you name it, we got someone here to answer questions. So other than that, I will turn it back to you. Thank you.
And it's time for public comments. If yeah. Any commissioners have questions for the applicant?
Was that the color palette that's going to be used, or is that generic in the elevation?
Yang Cho with SGA's Design is the architect, and he can answer that question for you.
Good evening. My name is Yang Cho with SGA Design Group, with the architects working on the Walmart building. And yes, that is the color palette proposed for the building, with many generations of elevation studies worked out with the...
I liked it. I just wanted to know if I was liking...
Those would be, yes, those will be the actual colors for the building.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. For public comments, if you have filled out a form, you will have 3 minutes to speak. Please be sure you're in front of the microphone when you speak, because it is part of the public record. Be sure to state your name, and we welcome your comments. How many cards do we have tonight?
As of now, Madam Chair, we have 31.
So, and those of you, if someone has already spoken before you that basically has said what you would reiterate, if you want to just come up, state your name, and say I agree, just to make the evening a little quicker, or you're free to use your 3 minutes, but it would make it a little easier. So let's start.
Okay, first we have Mr. Ken Mays.
My name is Ken Mays. My concerns on this are the drainage primarily. I'd like to know if this is going to drain into the Santa Ana watershed or the Santa Margarita watershed via the SEDCO drainage plan or the Wildomar drainage plan. And I'd like to know, what is the city of Wildomar going to do to make this increase in flow properly directed to either Lake Elsinore or the Murrieta Creek? And don't tell me the Riverside County Flood Control is responsible, because over 30 years ago, lines A through G were adopted, and today we have D and parts of E and F scattered about with less than 1/3 of the SEDCO Master Drainage Plan built. If flood control can't find federal disaster funds, it don't get built. And I'd also like to know if reclaimed water is going to be used for landscaping, as there is a line in Orange Street. And right now they're pulling the sewer line underneath the freeway, and they could pull in a reclaimed water line while they were at it. Thank you.
Second, we have Mr. Gary Andre.
Gary Andre, resident of Wildomar. Love the landscaping, good job. I think that looked real nice. Main concern, we had rain before the snow. I asked Gary when the last time his backyard flooded, and he said 93, and that's what I had recalled. I have several people, friends that live over in the trailer park off of Canyon. Some people that own homes over there, and that all flooded. One had over $8,000 worth of damage. The concern is not this, is upsellers. We have to look at the Sedco Basin, that overflow. You go over there and you can watch it overflow. Has a 4-foot pipe. Stuart McKibben County Flood told Gary Northwest myself it needed to be increased to a 7-foot pipe to be able to handle the flow. I don't want to cut our pathways to be able to run a pipeline through. You know, we have so many areas to run pipelines, and that's it. And Bundy Canyon, from what the water they're working on the side of my house, they say they've been squeaking through right next to pipe to get that water line in. It's so tight with that many pipes underneath that road. So the question is, how are we going to run a storm drain coming down and catching all that water from the Sedco Basin that overflows virtually if you get more than an inch of rain? I'm concerned about the school was flooded too, and we just got to make sure we take care of this, that we don't improve something and destroy other things and end up with more problems. So that's pretty much it as far as projects like it. Thank you.
Next, we have Grace Morabito, who is in favor of the project but does not wish to speak. We have John Garrett.
Hi, John Garrett, resident of Wildomar and light pollution awareness activist. This project's very big, so its potential to impact our night sky, it could be big. However, Wildomar passed an ordinance recently that is a rather forward-thinking ordinance, and as a forward-thinking ordinance, there could be a lot of opportunities where parts of it could be forgotten or dropped or done incorrectly. So I would just like some assurances that this plan will be adhering completely to our city's lighting ordinance. When I first looked at the environmental impact report, I did see a statement that said all lighting will conform to Wildomar's lighting ordinance. And I was just going to say here to make, how do we know for sure that's going to happen, and please do what you can to make sure. But when I was looking at the plan out there, I couldn't find that statement. And I would really feel better if I knew that it was still in there in the report somewhere, or if you could just address that. Thank you.
Thanks, John. And John was actually instrumental in helping us with that light pollution ordinance. Yes, there is a condition that requires compliance with 8.64. Our light pollution ordinance is a condition of approval, and they have no other choice but to comply with it. Now, when the construction documents come in and we get into the whole lighting fixtures and all that, we'll go through that ordinance very detailed and make sure that whatever they're proposing is consistent with that.
Yes, it's going to be a big and new project to all of us. So yeah, let's take a good look at that. Thank you very much, and thank you for the Wildomar people for complying with that. I mean the Wildomar, but Walmart. Sorry.
Gail Taylor.
Hi, I'm Gail Taylor. I live in the farm. And although I do support this project from a revenue point of view, I would just like to make sure that everybody pays their due diligence. Walmart is a very large corporation. They've done this several times, and Walmart is in business to make money. And the city does not want to come in on the short end on this. So I'm just asking to make sure everyone does their due diligence on this project. Thank you.
Ed, and I can't read the last name, but lives off 33203 Hickson.
Reisinger. Excuse me. Thank you.
Thank you for where you've brought us so far. Also like to take just a second to thank you for all the infrastructure upgrades that we have seen since you've become a city. I live in Wildomar. I drive these streets every day. Great planning. Takes money to do that. So my question is, from retail sales, from a store the size of Walmart, what do we get? Do we get a 1% rebate from the state out of the sales tax or out of the retail sales? And if we do, we certainly need it. I really am in favor of this project, and thank you for all the technical work that goes into this that you do on the sidelines.
Could you repeat your name again?
Yeah, my name is Ed Reisinger, and I'm a resident here in Wildomar.
To quickly answer your question, Ed, is yes, we will receive sales tax dollars as we do from every other commercial retail business. I'm not exactly sure what the exact percentage rate is. Dan, do you recall? It's significant based on the history of Walmart and the sales and the size of the building, but that'll go all right into our general fund.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
Bruce Moore.
Hi guys, my name is Bruce Moore. I've lived in Wildomar for 12 years. I was one of the people that voted to make Wildomar a city. So right now, like the gentleman before me stated, thanks for helping out with the infrastructure that we've had so far. I work for a fire department, and we've had quite a few instances of stuff going on in my neighborhood as far as law enforcement activity. And I'd like to know, how much of this would actually go towards actually getting some more police and fire in this area. I think it's a great idea. I think it's going to add some competition to some of the stuff that we have here already, and as well as bring in some tax dollars that we so desperately need. And for the folks that oppose this thing, you had your opportunity when you didn't want this to become a city, and it became a city, and with a city comes growth, and I think that what you guys are doing is a great job. Thanks.
Thank you.
I can just quickly respond to how the allocation of the sales tax monies is done by the city council as part of the budget process. So at this point, we don't know at the planning department level for this hearing.
Madam Chairman, member of the commission, my name is George Putnam, resident, and I think it's a tremendous project. I only had one question. First of all, you got 147 conditions. I hope it gets off the ground. But my concern would be on the landscaping. Is there going to be a landscaping? I downloaded the environmental impact report and I went to review it and I've lost it. So I just have a question. I'm sure there's an answer. This beautiful landscaping, is it going to be in a maintenance district so that it gets taken care of?
Dan, could you help answer that, please?
This project will join maintenance district. The maintenance on site though will be handled by the property owner.
Okay, so there won't be a maintenance district to take care of all the landscaping on the site then?
There will be a facilities maintenance district. What you see in the public rights of way will be covered under the maintenance district. Probably also the detention basins, because those go into our drainage facility that we would have to oversee, would also be in the maintenance district. But what's on the parking lot, that will be handled by the property owner.
The only question I would have then is at least some consideration to extend that into the parking lot, because I've seen an awful lot of parking lot and all of a sudden the trees go down and that destroys the environment that you've created here, which is tremendous. So something to think about. Thank you.
George Taylor.
Madam Chairman, Commissioners, staff. My name is George Taylor. I'm a longtime resident of Wildomar, and I live in a farm. I definitely support this project, and I have 3 good reasons why you should consider it. Number 1, it's going to bring jobs to our city. And when it brings jobs to our city, we improve our economy. Number 2, it's going to provide revenue, which we definitely need. You can have all the rooftops you want, the bedroom communities and stuff, but that's not enough to run a city. We need commercial. And once you get the commercial going, then we're off and running. The third big reason is the fact that Walmart is a big box store. Once you establish something that's going to drum up that type of business, it's going to be favorable to other big box stores possibly to come here. As you know, our land on the I-15 corridor is very, very narrow. We don't have as much room as Menifee's got. We don't have as much room as Marietta, Wildomar, or rather Temecula and Elsinore. So I wrote a letter Friday to the chairman of the board for Fry's. I think Fry's would be an excellent choice to go across the street from Walmart. And I pointed out that Walmart was establishing a superstore here, which will bring a lot of business. And when you bring a lot of business to one store, they say, well, while you're at it, let's go over to Fry's and get something. Also, there's another possibility I think you really should consider, and that's Camping World, or rather Outdoor World is what it is. We're in a community here, it's got a lake, we got mountains, we got a lot of opportunities for another big box store, such as Outdoor World. So I just wanted to make those few comments tonight to you for consideration. I'm sure that you're going to work out all the rest of these spurious details with the traffic and with the flood control and all that good stuff. But basically we need commercial here in Wildomar to keep us going. And I thank you very much for your time.
Shayla Erlop?
Oh, yeah.
Hi, my name is Sheila Erlob, longtime resident of Wildomar. I am very, very much in favor of this. I have a few points. It's one exit away from the current Walmart, so those people who argue it's going to destroy businesses, I've heard that all over the place. I have no idea what one exit is going to do different. I want to say, I think the lighting ordinance is great, and I hope we do follow it. I am very much in agreement. However, I can tell you as somebody who lives on the hillside, and I look down at that Shell station, and that monument sign by the freeway looks like a big old bug catcher. So I hope, and I know I'm gonna lose and have a little bit more lighting impact for my view, and I just hope we do really pay attention to that ordinance. I know it's gonna change it, but it doesn't have to be horrible. You know, I like Vegas, I like lights, it's just, they gotta be nice. And the road improvements, I've heard some discussion that they're not, and I don't know how accurate it is, and I apologize for missing meetings. I don't know how accurate that they're not gonna do the road improvements until after the project. I don't know what phase they're gonna do that in, and if I missed it and you spoke about it, I'm sorry, I was late. I'd like to have that be going on simultaneously, because we already know the problems we have at Bundy and the accidents, and just, you'd get more buy-in from a lot of the citizens of our community if they could see road improvements while we were doing this over here. And secondly, I want to say shame on the same old people who continue to file lawsuits. And I can't see why they do it other than for selfish reasons. It's the same group that has sued several projects. It's part of that same philosophy. The people who are suing Cornerstone, I don't know what you want. And I just say for shame on you. And also for those of you who are opposed, I'm going to do my mantra: no growth, no money, no services, no whining then. Thank you.
Madam Chair, just real quick, I want to make one clarification on the letter that we got from Ray Johnson. I had mentioned that it was also from the Alliance for Intelligent Planning. At this point, that is not correct. This letter that we received tonight is strictly from Ray Johnson's office.
Thank you for that clarification. And Sheila, I really like that last no whining. That's very memorable. Do we have any more speakers?
Yes, Madam Chair, we have Richard Morales.
Hello. Lived in Wildomar, right there on Elbow Creek Trail, 22515. My backyard basically runs from Monte Vista, tees off at Bundy Canyon. My concern is there's a wider part right by the storage unit, but my backyard, right behind my house, is only narrow enough for 2 lanes right there. And living there for 3 years, I've seen people die at that spot. My concern is how close of a 4-lane road are you putting to the backyard? It's only a sidewalk and a hillside. Are you widening the road to the south, or are you coming closer to the backyard is what my concern is. I haven't had any notices in the mail about widening, this is the first one I've got. I mean, that's why I'm here. But what my concern is are you widening towards my yard, or are you going south? And is it going to be, because I got the notice in the mail for the Shell gas station as well, and I approved of it, not knowing that the way the traffic was set up right there as well. I don't know if you guys ever been that way in the morning at 7:30 in the morning. Everyone's trying to get out, gunning it out of the gas station. Someone's already died there too. So what my concern is it going to be a Cracker Jack box type construction the whole time, or is it going to get done right away with signals and everything, or is it going to be done the right way first time without having the way it is now with people trying to rush in and out of that gas station at 6:30, 7:30 in the morning, nearly missing each other every single time coming out of there. Same thing on Sundays at church through Cornerstone. Me and my wife will sit there and listen to tires screeching, people pulling out as fast as they can, get out of there. Is it going to be the same way here? That's why I'm concerned about the 4-way. Is it going to be done right, or is it going to be done which way?
Can you show us on the map there where the area you're talking about, where your home is?
You're talking about Sellers Street?
No, I'm literally on the corner right there. Right at the corner.
Okay, it's in Monte Vista.
Monte Vista and Bud. So I haven't got anything in the mail about it being closer to my house, or if I'm getting anything from it. I mean, a barrier wall, a soundproof wall, anything. I mean, all that area right there is literally, on weekends, it's just flow, flow, flow. I mean, are we going to get any, that's one of my concerns, are we going to get a barrier wall, are we going to get a soundproof wall, are we going to get anything from it with having 4 lanes there instead of 2? So that's what my concern is, because I haven't got anything in the mail about it, nothing yet.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
And that, because he's the last another public comment, wanted everyone to have an opportunity.
Hi, my name is Paul Colmer, and I've lived in Wildomar for 17 years. My main concern is the traffic on Bundy Canyon, and I know what the last speaker was just talking about, because by the storage lot, that is already improved. Up by his house, if they improve that wider, it's going to take out a lot of backyards. And I think that's what he was referring to, from the storage yard up to Canyon Ranch. My main concern also is the children walking to high school. They're either going to have to cross Bundy Canyon, coming out of the tracks on the north side, going down by Sellers. They have that ditch there. They have to walk through a field. So I don't know if there's going to be any consideration for the kids going to high school or not. And in the environmental impact report, it said that even though Walmart will pay the fees, it doesn't prove that they will be done in a timely manner. And I think, I'm sort of on the fence. I shop at Walmart, I'm not really against it, but until these improvements are already done, I think you're going to do an injustice to the people who live in the area. Also, I heard someone mention light encroachment. I think there'll be a light encroachment as well as noise encroachment. I sent a letter to Mr. Bassi, and my name was mentioned in the impact report. I feel that all the council, I think, has already made up their mind about this project. I realize it's going to bring money into the city, and the city needs the money. But I wish there would be some concern about traffic on Bundy Canyon. Because right now, like the last gentleman spoke, trying to get out, going eastbound on both Cherry and Canyon Ranch during rush hours is an impossibility. And I guess that's about it. Thank you, and hope everyone's considerations will be taken, or comments will be taken into consideration. Thanks.